I'm for hire, I'm a seller, I'm a buyer. Conversations with me in my lounge as we scream. You know me, my Morgan, subject board, follow him. I'm the comic man. I'm the comic man. I almost forgot to bring myself over. Oh, I was reading something, but look here. You can get a comic book price guide for only $1. And it says 100 comics, near mint, $25. Try doing that nowadays, I guess. But anyway, caught me off guard. I forgot to bring my camera up. But anyway, shit happens. We have a good guest tonight. I see her all the time on Instagram. And I thought she'd be a great guest because we have sometimes we have a pretty male-dominated space here on comic book collecting. So it's good to get a feminine perspective on things. So I even got an intro video for her. All right, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. It's a little cold. The pops froze, but they didn't break, so we're good. But the people in Tennessee got hit harder. A lot of people are about power in Nashville, but if anybody wants to know what it's like right now in Kentucky or Nashville, I have a video clip for it if you want to see it.
Hey, this place sucks. We should go somewhere else. Every other place sucks too. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Anyway,
Beavis and Butthead.
I do too. Let's say the chat. The chat's live and kicking already. Oh, we might have to play another super chat video. We got a new member, Mr. Flynn. Well, you're in luck because I just added a couple of new videos, and here we'll play this one for you.
Got me out.
All right. Let's go. Here's who else we got here going on. Lady Fantastic's in the house.
Lady.
I was happy to hear from her today because she lives around the Nashville area, and she got power back today, so that's good. And I pinned your Instagram to the chat. If nobody's following her, what are you waiting on?
Appreciate it.
There's me. We got JSS Brooklyn, Lady Sabrina, and Matt. Some of my favorites. We're doing okay. It's been cold, but we got pretty lucky where I'm at. But like where Lady Fantastic's at, it was kind of like really crappy. And he says, we get hit again this weekend with snow. I remember when I used to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the cold is not a comic book enemy because that hurricane's fire and water. Yeah, so that's good. Got Jeff, my friend Jeff's here. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, John. Here, we've got to find something good for John now. Here, we'll play a A-Team clip.
What's it say?
Well, it says, I love it when a plan comes together.
All right. I guess I kind of give away my age. Oh, we got Taylor here too. Hey, nerdlings. Hey, Taylor. It's good to see you. Anyway, so I think we're caught up on the chat. Anyway, Sabrina, I'd like to thank you for being here.
Of course.
Like I said, I got her Instagram pin in the chat. So usually it's kind of like just freestyle. I used to go around I have a bunch of questions like, did you like this book? Well, I don't do that anymore. So
that's good. I like it more free.
Yeah, I do have one question. Oh, we got another Christina Payne. I hope you're feeling better.
Oh, hey, Christina.
Oh, we got George here. Hey, George. Okay, the only question I do have to start it off is just let's see where it goes from there. I stole this from Rob. Rob's Fast Ags. I'm only slap because what is your comic book origin story? I'm not as good as going into detail like you'll say, were you bitten by a radioactive spider and decided to collect comic books or something? But Well, how did you get into collecting? Was it a young age, or is it something recently, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more in my adulthood. Just because for me, when I was younger, I didn't have access to a lot of that kind of stuff. But it
Mhm.
definitely was like I felt like the seeds were planted when I was younger, throughout my childhood. And then the minute I was able to, spend my own money or spend money in general, then of course it changed. But definitely my origin story would be like for midway would be my husband. So I guess a little Joker Harley Quinn vibe. He got me into that stuff. So
Okay.
as far as like being able to buy it and purchase it and not feel like I was wasting money or time or whatever, and I
Yeah.
just fell into it from there. I was reading. I've always been a reader and a big movie buff. So like I said, the seeds were planted when I was younger with anything from the four famous Batman movies. I love the villains, so I grew up watching those. Those came out like pretty much when I was born, so I guess away my age. So I grew up watching those, and I loved Catwoman and all those different ones. And I had like all the little action figures for those movies. So I don't know, it started from there, I guess, and then went on. I did really like a lot of horror films when I was younger, so that's kind of what inspired my horror collection. I've seen pretty much anything and everything, and if I haven't, I want to. That type of vibe, even if it's a terrible movie. So, but there was the original movies like Bram Stoker's Dracula. I fell in love with that. I would watch that over and over.
I love that
Um,
movie. One of my
that's
favorite.
my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, Gary Oldman is amazing in that.
yeah,
And I
it's
like
my
to joke.
favorite.
I like to joke about Keanu Reeves. I say, "Is the castle fall?"
Yeah. When I mean, I feel like he didn't even age from them. It's crazy because he's still
No, yeah,
relevant now. So
yeah, I know. And just and Gary Oldman just became a better actor. I mean,
yeah,
he was already a great actor, but like
yeah.
you think about what he did in the '90s, like you got Bram Stoker's Dracula, True
Yeah.
Romance, The Professional. He did
I
all
did
kinds of.
like The Professional a lot too, yeah. Which honestly for me, movies, it ranged. It wasn't just, nerdy vibes. It's just there
Yeah,
was a lot of those that I really connected with. I would watch over and over. And I do tend to like, more like the villains and the darker side of
yeah,
comic books from that because it originated from I would say movies got me into it for sure. But growing up, I didn't have a lot of access to that stuff, so it was like random video games I could maybe get my hands on, or I would see people like I grew
yeah,
up with my uncle for a little while when I was growing up, and he would play Doom all the time on the computer, and I'd see him gaming, and it was one of the first like multiplayer games where you get online and you play with your buddies, and so it was a cool world. I just didn't get to be a part of it till later, but once I got into it, it was more just going along with the family. Like we go out and just buy, I have all boys, so we go and buy all these things and whatever. But about a decade ago, I started kind of just collecting my own. I started reading the Walking Dead graphic novels. Harleen Quinn, those like mag. I actually think I brought those out too.
the Black Lake.
Ones like that. And then that's kind of where it just took off. And then it was just I was always buying some pops. We have a bunch of like whole walls of
Yeah,
pops. All the little things, all the little trendy things, but then it was the reading that like stuck with me. That's what like furthered me into wanting to collect because I'm really just interested in reading and learning more about the art and the authors and stuff that write comic books and stuff because some of them actually have written other stuff, which is really
yeah,
cool.
and it's very
So
limitless to what you could get into. If you like fantasy stuff,
yep,
sword and sorcery stuff, superheroes, something more gritty. There's everything. A little bit, maybe something a little bit lighter. So
yeah. Yeah, and
and
I think that's what it was for me because when I was younger, that's what I had. I didn't have, items and things. I had my imagination. So I'm a very big thinker and very creative. And so for me, it was very easy, I think, to get into the world of collecting. It was just like learning how to spend that money and think, because you grow up in a certain way where you don't buy things like that, so and now I buy all the things, and I'm like I have to try to budget more, which I don't like doing because it's fun to collect. You start to you
yeah,
get that it's like you said with stacks, you get bit by that radioactive spider and you just keep going. So
yeah, you just get the bug. Like I've had
yep.
it several times. Like I got my whole collection was cleaned out by a bunch of people broke into my apartment one time.
Oh no.
And but that was I gave up. I said, forget it. Then I started reading trade paperbacks again, and the collected editions. And I said, then about 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, I'm just going to go right back into it. And
Yeah,
it's like, boo, budgeting. Yeah, I hate to do it too. But like, I won't show
I
you
don't
my.
know how to, and I try.
I won't show you the actual budget. But like, I take a piece of paper every month before I get paid, and I go, okay, I got this claim sale out. I owe people from this claim sale. I got to get my pre-order comics, and then I'm like, so I know not to go over that, and I have to save for Heroes Con this year, so I try not to go over. But I feel like it's almost like when you do claim sales, it's almost like a gambling addiction. Like,
Yeah.
I got to pay this guy off this month, or he's going.
Well, luckily for me, I do not do really online. I think that's why for me, I enjoy my collection so much because it's just stuff that I've found, naturally, just like out there in the wild, or maybe I've got gifted. A lot of like I only have a few slabs, and all my slabs are gifted to me because I don't buy slabs.
Yeah. Well, I started out with that, and they kind of got me hooked on those too, though. So I don't have
Yeah,
that.
I know. I used to say I hated them, and I would never have any, and now I have like 5. So
I know some friends of mine have like I think 400 or 500 of them.
Oh geez, yeah, no, I can't do that.
I know Rob's got several of them, but
Yeah,
I may have about 32 right now at this point. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'll also go back to what you were saying about the villains. Like I always say, I don't know if it's a hot take or not. And I mean, I love Batman, but I think his rogues gallery is far more interesting than he is.
yeah, that's my thing with it. It's like I love Bat because I always get caught saying I love Batman. I do. I have a lot of Batman, but it's not actually Batman that intrigued me originally. It was the villains, and so they all have so many different stories, and I don't know. Like I said, like I'm a little bad too. So they're not. I don't like super like straightforward like
Yeah,
Superman. I don't really like Superman because he's very like square to me. He's just very like in his
yeah.
box, and I don't like that.
I like him. I think it's just because some of the first comic books I ever got were Superman. But I get that. I know a lot of people like that. The same complaint. Hey, John Malone. And we got Will
Hey,
saying
how are you?
Will said he's Batman. You know what? I never seen him and Batman in the same place, so you never know.
Well, and he and we like a lot of the same stuff though. I do love Rogue and all those ones too. So it's just like I said for Batman, it's the villain side for sure. I love Catwoman, Poison. I got into Poison Ivy last year. For me, it's not really DC or Marvel. I really like independent publishers or even ones that just write on like more horror, I guess, genre.
Yeah,
But
I find that a lot of the indie books are more interesting. To be honest with you, I mean, I still get Marvel, DC. Like, I mean, the whole back wall here is all DC and Marvel, but it's just so interesting. I want to talk about that too. But I was going to talk about the thing about not just the villains, but do you feel like I feel like I was a kid. I just want to know what you feel. I gravitated more to because I wouldn't consider Harley the villain now, but I like the kind of anti-hero like Lobo,
yes,
or like Wolverine. They really play by the rules, because Wolverine used to be. They kind of calmed down a little bit, but at some point, sometimes he probably would have easily slashed open a Cyclops as soon as he would have a bad guy because he got on his nerves. And I kind of find that interesting. They did the same thing with Venom, but I don't know. They just find them more fascinating. I just wanted to tell you that's what
I think
thought.
I agree in the way where it's like I don't really feel like a villain is necessarily a villain, right? Because they all have their like backstories and their reasons for what they're doing. And then, I mean, you have your antagonists who do their job really well. It's not like Batman isn't egging on the Joker or something. So it's like you do have like sides to every person. So I do agree. And a lot of the villains aren't always the villain, but they did that. They took some of the villains and switched them to go to the good side or to help the good side or whatever. But I don't know. I think Harley Quinn definitely wouldn't be considered a villain now at this point, but early on she was. I think they've evolved. I think overall though, comic books have evolved a lot anyways. But originally, it was you're good or you're evil. But yeah, I agree. I think the anti-hero is probably even more my favorite. Kind of like the lone wolves. Like Wolverine wanted to be on his own. He's kind of a loner.
I like what Taylor. I got that reference. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. That's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. All right.
Yeah, I love that movie growing up. But exactly, that's what I'm saying is so sometimes they're the lone wolf or whatever, and it makes them seem more of the anti-hero, but it's more just they're not just people. You're not social. I don't know. I can vibe with that.
They're more. I don't know how to say it. Kind of like anti-establishment kind of guy. Like I always said about like Lobo was just like, that's why I thought everybody's like, who's your favorite Robin? I said I don't really like him as Robin, but Jason Todd as the Red Hood was a more interesting character to me because he's the guy that was like Batman. The way you're doing things is you're failing. You're not doing it You don't really punish these guys. You lock them up and they escape again. And I just kind of like that attitude. I guess it's because I grew up in the 80s and we had all those Charles Bronson movies and stuff. The guy's like, I'm going to take the law into my own hands, but kind of thing. But although that is kind of like, I don't know, if you look back at it, it's kind of a fascistic way of like looking at things, I guess. But just shoot first, ask questions later. But I always kind of.
But if you think about it, it cuts the whole chase, right? Because that's the difference between Batman and those guys is that he continues to. It's like the cat and mouse. It just keeps going. It never ends because it's the same guys. He doesn't really end their life. He just continues to, go after them.
Yeah. It was kind of like also like with the Punisher. What Punisher's like, the courts are failing these people. So I was, they're not good people. So if they can't take them out, I will. And I think people can relate to that. Like, you're not. If you ever had anything as an injustice or you've seen injustice happen to somebody, like, well, maybe we go about the legal way. It ain't working. I'm not encouraged. Don't think I'm going to pick up any guns or something. Don't listen to me. I'm just
no, I'm with you. I'm already picking mine up. I get it. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is though, is what you resonate, right? So for me, I, like I said, as I mentioned, which I don't go into detail too much on, is, I have that dark history of her. So for me, I resonated with a darker, because it wasn't all rainbows and princesses and, things like that. And I, as you mentioned earlier, me being feminine, growing up, I always liked, the action figures, like I mentioned, Hot Wheels, Legos. I loved Legos. So it wasn't really playing like the other girls, like with Barbie dolls and things like that. If I had a Barbie doll, it was because I was making her clothes. I do love fashion, but it's like I wasn't playing the same way other girls were and stuff. So it was, for me, a lot of reading and movies because, I wasn't into those. And I had two sisters growing up. So it's very different, definitely, especially before when you're younger, because people weren't really buying little girls' comic books. And when people gift you something, they're not buying you boy stuff. Nowadays it's different. There's more general, neutral, and whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that crap. But when I was younger, it was like black and white. It was like, you're a girl, you do these things. They want to put you in dresses all the time or whatever.
Yeah. And Pop says Punisher was a comic version of Mark Polo and the Executioner, a 70s era paperback. Okay. I'll have to look that up, Pops. We got Roscoe here too. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Hey, Roscoe. No, you're good. Trust me, I don't get offended easily at all.
I like to get the chat going,
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby's here too. Hey, Bobby. Good to see you, man. I don't know. I was kind of like that too. Like, I don't know. I've had some stuff in my life happen where I was like, I guess I kind of gravitated more like, that's why I like horror movies and stuff. And like, I don't like I know some people are like, I can't watch all that, something that dark or something. I said, it's just a movie. I mean, I've had worse stuff happen to me anyway. Trust me, I've been to jail before. So all right.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I think that's like you said, it's based off your experience. So some people can't fathom something like that. Like some horror movies, I mean, they go real extreme. So I get it. Like I hate Human Centipede. You know what I mean? But I've watched it.
Yeah,
it's because you have to watch. I don't know. I have to watch everything. I don't know. I have to watch them. But will I watch it again? No, probably not. I'm not that sick.
That's one movie I'll never watch again. I got a few.
Like, I'll never watch it again. Tusk, I'll never watch again. Like,
did you ever see the movie Audition, the Japanese movie?
No.
Oh my God, this girl is like she's like meeting this guy, and you think, oh, it's a sweet girl. She's had a bad history in her, like her childhood was bad. You're like, oh, but she seems nice. And this guy, and you're like, this guy's kind of a creep because she's younger than him. You're kind of get this vibe like this guy, because he did this thing where he was like he made a fake audition so he could meet younger women, like he was a
right
agency or something that he wasn't, and because he wanted to meet younger women, and you're like, yeah, this guy's a dirtbag. And then she drugs him, and he wakes up and he's tied down with no clothes on, and she starts sawing his leg off with one of those like razor wire things. You're like, oh my God. And there's like a guy in a body bag, like raises up, he's moving around like she's got somebody in like a body. It's like, it really freaked me out.
That's crazy. I'm about to look that up. Yeah, I've not heard of that one.
The Japanese.
Japanese horror films are really good.
Yeah, and they kind of go all out. Like there's some things they like. Although I'd say now they do too. Like, because we were talking about this on my friend Tony and I were doing this show where we review horror movies, and we were talking about, like, we were reviewing Friday 13th Part 7, and I said, when I saw this movie as a kid, I just thought it was really like hardcore gory. Like he kills that girl in a sleeping bag, and slams her up against the tree. And I'm like, whoa. But now, when you see movies like Terrifier and like Saw, you're like, that, it's almost rated PG-13 at this point.
Yeah, again, compared to what we watched, I know. Well, and also when you watch it now versus when you watch it then, sometimes I'm like shocked. I'm like, wow, those
Yeah,
are our
yeah.
movies when we were growing up. Like, wow.
Yeah, it was the same thing with music. I remember, like, my mom telling me about people freaking out about Elvis, shaking his hips, and then I was like, damn, I remember, like, Marilyn Manson, so
Yeah, well, now you got everybody twerking everywhere, so there's not just shaking hips. So
yeah. They got all the twerking videos and all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree, Pops. To me, the only Jason that I know of that I feel is Kane Hodder. That's when he started, was in Part 7. And I thought he was the best Jason. He had this, like, he's got that physicality, like Kane Hodder's a big guy.
yeah.
So he was great as Jason, like he was like a killing machine. I love
An appearance is important. Sometimes my favorite characters are based off the fact of how they looked, how they made that
Yeah.
character look.
And Bobby said that Forrest Gump taught Elvis how to dance. That's true.
He definitely did. Yeah, you can tell.
And but Kane Hodder had that, this presence, like, and like, I think he kind of approached like he wanted to be like Frankenstein's monster a little bit. I saw an interview where he was saying, I wanted to move kind of like Frankenstein's monster, because at this point,
Okay.
Jason's kind of undead anyway, right? He keeps coming back from his dead. I always wondered after Part 6, though, when they drown him in the lake, why didn't the police go and drag the lake and try to make sure he was dead? But I guess they're afraid to touch him. I don't know. There's like,
I think they were afraid to find out that he was not dead, or that they couldn't find the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Wow.
I don't know, but there's a theory that he's a deadite. Because if you watch Jason Goes to Hell, the Book of the Dead is in the movie, and there's a dagger, that ceremonial dagger from Evil Dead 2 is in the movie, and so some people have a theory that that his mother brought him back from the dead, and then she couldn't control him after she died. He just went crazy because he's a mama's boy.
Yeah, well, and they're never they're same. When you reincarnate or rebirth.
Yeah, and like you can bring somebody back, but they're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery, like they brought their
yeah,
kid
that's
back.
right. Yeah, that's where I learned that from. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good movie too.
I love that movie. That little kid is so creepy. But I can't. What's his name? Was his name Fred Gwynn? I think he played Herman Munster.
I'm so bad, with their names, but that was a really good one.
He cut his like ankle. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I used to watch that one a lot. Or Cat Eyes, with Drew. I think it was Drew Barrymore, right? When she, like one of her first.
I think so. Yeah, the Cat's Eyes and the. Stephen King had some of the great movies when I was growing up. We're reviewing one. Like I gave Tony the show Comic Verse, but I'm doing the last episode. I'm doing it Friday Night Friday because I had to change. I was just doing too many shows anyway.
Yeah,
but we're reviewing Maximum Overdrive.
That'd be cool.
Right. Yeah. I always thought that movie as a kid because I always thought it was kind of frightening how vehicles could come to life. Like the things we made and own could come back and get you. I guess I was interested about Terminator, but now we're kind of in that situation.
Well, yeah, when we were growing up, they always, the people who didn't understand, technology as well were always, the robots were taking over. They're going to take over. Yeah. Which, I don't know. They made some great movies about that too. So
yeah, well, they could be. You never know. I've seen some crazy videos here lately, like some of the stuff I saw a mechanical dog that this company Boston Dynamics made, and it's got a freaking flamethrower on it, so they can do that. They can, who knows? So I don't know.
Yeah. AI intelligence.
Trucks. Oh yeah, that's the one the TV movie, right? They made of this. Yeah. Well, Stephen King does not like that movie, by the way. A lot of the actors did not like being in Maximum Overdrive, and I reckon he pretty much did half of Columbia and cocaine when he was filming that movie. He doesn't even remember filming it. So.
Oh really? That's cool.
It was the 80s though, so.
A lot used to have about that. Yeah, that's like a lot of the writers. I feel like it was like before our age. It's the writers were doing that shit, and then it was the film, and then now it's I don't know, music artists and stuff. It's changed.
it's kind of like, but Doc, when I review some bad movies sometimes, like I'll play you a clip from it. We reviewed Hercules last night. It's a fun movie, but it kind of seemed like there was a bunch of guys in a room doing blow and said, it'd be cool if we had Hercules throw a bear into outer space. And there's like a clip of that. Yeah, Fred Gwynn played Herman Munster. He was in Pet Sematary. He was their neighbor, right? Remember the one that told him, don't ever put anything bigger like a cat or something in Pet Sematary or something like that.
Yeah, you know, just small, because if it comes back,
Well, like Stephen King back then could write a book about anything, Pops. He'd be like, my next book is going to be about a pen that kills people.
Well, but he really did. I mean, he wrote about a window. He wrote about, he's wrote about everything.
And Taylor says he don't remember half the King books he read. Okay.
So sometime we actually, because we just finished with it, I'm in the process of moving right now, even still, but we got moved into the new house and we're going through all our stuff and I'm finding books all the time and I'm like, oh, I forgot that was Stephen King, because we buy a lot of the Stephen King books as well.
Yeah. Well, he's got so many. Didn't he write under a surname or like a pen name or something in some books? I think I can't remember.
Well, so it's weird because I hear that, but then I also hear the opposite, where a lot of people have tried to insinuate they are Stephen King, but they're not really, or whatever. Like I've even seen some knockoff books and stuff where they're like, oh, written by, or it'll be like Stephen written different or something, Stephen King, but a different spelling. So I don't know. I've always been curious about that too. If we could figure it out and figure out which ones were, they'd be worth probably a lot of money.
Yeah, I thought it was one he might have admitted to being one of them, but I think a lot of people also, he kind of brought up his own genre because when he started writing those books and they got real popular, then you had all these other artists like would come out trying to write the same style book because we're trying to match his success. But you see that with everything. It's like imitation is the biggest form of flattery, I guess.
I mean, it sucks though sometimes when like you're doing it and then someone takes over and then they are a little better at it though. But in his case, luckily he was really good. I will say I think he's quite the genius because like he does find a way to he's got the long game because like it's not like he's just making these stories or writing these, not like he also like connects these like worlds and I don't know. I just think it's really cool. Even now we find out stuff about some of his works that we probably didn't know before. Of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff. I know that too, but in general, a lot of this stuff does connect. It's like a puzzle.
And some of my favorite stories are not even really horror related. Like Stand By Me was, probably growing up. That's one of my favorites.
I loved that movie growing up. I didn't like half the kids die or something though, like the actors, or at least one of them. River something. Phoenix. River. Yeah.
Well, Corey Feldman grew up to be kind of a weirdo, but.
But yeah, that was a brilliant movie. I grew up watching that a lot. That one and there was a couple other ones that were similar, just classic movies, like The Goonies, Stand By Me, there was this other one though. It was more female cast though. But it was similar to Stand By Me. It was like Nowhere But Here or something like that. I can't remember, but they had a lot of those growing up.
They had a lot of those movies too, like they cast the people that were 25 years old as teenagers, like Breakfast Club. But I loved it. I was there for it.
Oh, yeah, Breakfast Club was good. I like that one too.
When it kind of gave it, I don't know, kind of maybe wish, like when you're growing up, you watch like Breakfast Club and Weird Science and 16 Candles. You go like, I want to be like that when I get into high school.
And then you go to high school and it's not like that. No, I will say though, I appreciate that because now they don't do that. There's a lot of really young people in films, and I don't know, sometimes it's strange watching these young people in films because like, the film might be about these different things and then I'm watching these young kids do it. It's not as fun. When I was younger, watching older people who are older than us could also watch and connect with it because
I got a creepy vibe. Like I'll try to get into like, somebody was telling me I need to watch Euphoria.
Yeah. See, I watched that too, and it's same. Yeah, so that's exactly what I mean. It's hard because they're very young.
Yeah, I'm like 49 right now. I was like 47 or something at the time. I'm like, I don't feel I should be watching this.
Right. Yeah, it's weird, and I'm like, at least when we were younger and the people were older, people didn't have to feel that way. Yeah. So I don't know.
And like I think the first time I ever moved doing that was
I love The Sandlot.
Yeah, Sandlot's awesome. You're killing me, Smalls. I love that movie.
All of them were good, though. I actually didn't have too much issues with like when they kept bringing it back and stuff. And they made one not that long ago, I feel like, but I didn't hate any of them. But nothing beats the first one.
Oh, the first one's just great. Like there's so many great moments in it. You got a great cast like James Earl Jones is in it, and what I liked about it too is like the kids. You know how when we're kids, we always build something in our mind that it's worse than it is. Like don't go to that house, it's haunted, or don't go in this area. And
Yeah,
they,
this giant,
this
mean dog.
yeah, just licks them to death basically.
Yeah. No, I loved it because it shows imagination nowadays. I mean, you have computers, you have video games. Kids aren't scared as easily, I don't know, it's different.
I don't know. It's kind of like we were kind of like free range kids. Like just be back when the light comes, the street light comes on or whatever.
Yeah, and that was me too. I was in that limbo era between all that. So I would be out all day. Well, I mean, and also I grew up in the system anyway. So it was like you go outside. So you wake up in the morning, you're outside all day. Don't be anyone's problem. Adults didn't want you around. That was how it was. I'm a 90s baby. So I'm 35. So for me, I grew up in that, 90s, 2000 range where it was like, don't be seen, don't be heard type vibe.
Oh
Like just stay away.
yeah. And I remember they used to do a thing in the '80s. There was a commercial called there's like they had all these celebrities and it'd be like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are at?
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. That was like when they did that. There's a lot of weird videos like you can find online don't get in the car with strangers. And now we're like kind of like, well, duh. But back then they really had it. I don't know. I guess they felt like they really had it. But like we'd have a guy come to our school and tell you and like scare the shit out of him. Go, and you'd leave and you'd be like, I'm afraid I'm gonna get kidnapped every time I go outside the house.
Yeah. And the drugs too. The pictures, like this is what you look like if you do drugs.
Yeah. Well, we had a guy,
and they'd always make the one with weed like look terrible, and I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah. And or like we had a guy. I remember he came to talk to us, and he brought. It was like when the Nancy Reagan era, like say no, the DARE program.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they brought a case, like a little briefcase, and had like plexiglass over it. It showed you all the drugs. Like this is amphetamines, this is heroin, and they like this is cocaine, this is marijuana. They'd have like a joint there. It was probably fake. I don't know, but like I'm like,
that'd be hilarious if it wasn't.
Yeah, but I mean, what if somebody trying to steal? We lost the case.
Yeah. Or I guess it's for them after they're done teaching all the kids not to do them.
I heard a stand-up. I can't remember who it was. A stand-up comedian's like, you know what? That probably was the best idea. They showed up with samples, and the only thing they didn't do was tell us where to go get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They teach you all about it, and then they show you a picture to try to scare you, and they're like, "But this is what you look like if you do them." Like, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It didn't help me, but like. I don't know. I think you either learn that on your own or you don't. I guess it's.
I mean, yeah, it's just a preference, and some people have to try stuff to knock it. For me, I've never had any interest in chemically formed stuff, but I do like natural remedies, and so that's always been my thing. I went from buying it, and then now I can go into an actual like brick and mortar. So I feel like that doesn't count as a drug if you can go buy it, but everybody has different preferences.
Yeah, it's not like you're out there scoring something hard or something not
right.
But like, I mean, I don't think anybody should go out there and try and learn on certain things. It's just that shit's evil. But like, it's like if you're a certain age of that stuff, I mean, I don't think it's a big problem. It's like you can buy alcohol, and I've seen alcohol ruin more lives than weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly, yeah. So I always, my rule of thumb is just stick to natural. Even the over the counter stuff, though. I grew up in a generation where they were handing that stuff out. You had an issue, and it was just you go in and you get a list of medications, and they're hard. Yeah. Like Norcos and stuff. Now that's not the case. You can't get that. But before it was like they were just giving it to you like it's candy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I kind of had a problem with that. That's why. I got in trouble with that shit years ago, but that's over with. But yeah, they used to just give it out like that. Like it was just so weird. Like you go to these, we don't get into all these issues, but like they'd have these people that go around. My mom used to work for a doctor, and be like, "Oh, here, if you prescribe our drug, doctor, we'll pay you some money," and that's why that's how it goes. But like, if they can't get any money out of like. Luckily, they found a way. I guess they can make money at the herbal stuff. So
Yeah.
It's changed a lot. We had medical law got passed here, and last year they still haven't set up any dispensaries except for one.
Oh,
Apparently,
really? Oh, wow.
I think it takes forever because they have to like uh, people have to get like their permits or whatever, and they have to build their space, and they're not
When you have to
allowed
have growers and all that, you have to
yeah,
have, the whole chain and
to
supply.
export it from another state. You got to grow
Yeah.
it in state and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
there's
a
strict.
lot of rules with it. A lot of rules, and like it has to be, a certain amount of plants, certain amount of this and that. For me,
Yeah,
so I'm from Cali originally, and then now I'm in Vegas. So, I mean, by the time we came to Vegas, it was already legal in Cali. So,
yeah, and I've been to Vegas before. I actually uh, been to Reno, Nevada too. We went to where the I don't know if you ever heard of a show called Bonanza, but it's called the Ponderosa, and they actually there's actual Ponderosa out there. It was the old '60s Western. My dad used to watch it, but so like, okay, what are you? Okay, here's a question for you. What are you currently reading like right now? I know you say you read a lot of indies.
yeah,
I've seen.
I've been reading.
I know you read it. Was it Corpses?
Yep. Yeah, I've been reading Exquisite Corpus. I haven't picked up anything new lately of that one though, but I read everything I own of that one so far. So some of them I keep up with, and then some I just go back to read. So like this week I was reading Pop Gun, which is like an anthology. It's like 4 different volumes. It's graphic novel. It's like a huge one. And they just have hundreds of different short stories in it from all across the genres. So I got into that for a little bit because with the move and stuff, there just hasn't been enough time. So to get me back into the swing of things, I was like, let me pick up this because you can pick it up, drop it. I mean, they're very quick. I don't think I have it out right now over here in this area, but it's an Image produced. So I mean, anything Image puts out is usually pretty good. And then I've been reading Berserker for manga. That's my first manga I started reading because I got a little bit into manga. I don't know if you know Sheena from Melanin and Manga.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen her on. Yeah, I've seen her on
Yeah,
little clips
she's
before. Yeah.
great. So she's been getting me into it a little bit. So we're gonna try to do some more of that going on. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of different stuff. Honestly, I just anything I can get my hands on, I'll read. So most of my books I've already read. And then I have a big long box of ones that I just would love to just get through. But I haven't been to the shop for like two weeks. So yeah, I think it's
Uh,
been 2 weeks.
I don't get out that much for like the like I do it too. Like I have what I have to read. Like I still get caught up. Like I got a whole stack here, but
Yeah, I have too many to catch up on.
like I have a pull list, and I just I can't. It's only the comic shop's like 40 miles away. So if I
Oh
go, I have
wow.
to pick everything up because I live in a small area. It's actually funny story is with two people. I want to give away from Cali Comics, and I won one from John's Comics with Friends the other day that he gave away on Magic Lasso's channel.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
they both went to the post office. This is two separate times, and John's the second person had a problem. They said, "Are you sure your address is right?" They said they can't find your address in the computer, and I'm
Okay.
like, "Just have them send it to the zip code." So apparently, if you ship something to me from another state, they think I live in Dimension X or like some pocket dimension somewhere. It's kind of funny. I don't know, but
That's
yeah,
weird. And
you're
it's
talking
not a
about
new build? Yeah, usually that in Vegas we get that with like new builds because it's just not in the system yet.
yeah. Well, it might have been because we moved here, and I think this house. Well, that might be what it is because the house we moved into, nobody had lived in it for like 2 years. So
Yeah, so that could be it. Yeah.
yeah, I had to get another mailbox stuff. But you're talking about Image, and I have to agree with that. Like Image, pretty much. Like I've been reading like this stuff, and Red Coat. I think Jeff Johns writes them.
Oh
And
yeah, I think I actually have that on my list of ones that I wanted to look into. I've seen a couple people were posting about that recent.
yeah, but like I feel like I'm pulling more Image stuff every month though. Like Image or like
Yeah.
uh, some of the Mad Cave stuff's pretty cool. Like I don't know if you ever read Pop Kill.
Yes, yeah, I have Pop Kill. I did read, so I got the first 3 of them. I think it's 2 of them, but I read 1 and 2 for sure. I don't think I read all 3 of them yet, though. I love that one. Same with around a little bit after that one, they came out with as far as like risque covers go, because I know that one had some
Yeah,
nice covers. Gehenna however you spell it, Naked Aggression. I don't know if you got into that one. That one was like a
Oh yeah,
new.
yeah. I read a couple issues. I need to
This
get
was
some
it.
more. Yeah.
That one's good. It was so for me. It was a cover buy because I was like, I'm gonna open. I like to open up, either sexy covers or blind bags in general. And that one was like a cover buy, but I read the first one just because I like to. I read most of what I get, even if it's not great. I just won't continue to read it if it doesn't interest me. And that one was great. It's a really good story actually. So a little action in it and stuff. So it was cool. It was not horror or anything, but it was still very good read. Um,
The Pop Kill kind of reminded me like an 80s or early 90s action movie or something. You know what I mean? It had all this
Yeah.
like violence and gratuitous sex and violence in it. And then like I heard somebody talk about Money Shot. They're like, have a friend.
oh,
He's
I
not really,
love Money Shot. Yeah.
had a friend that's not really in it kind of thing. I opened it up and I was like, nope, not. He's kind of like not like that kind. I don't, I guess, but like he said,
I would
not
say
for me.
Money Shot's more sci-fi.
Yeah, it's more sci-fi. And I
Yeah.
think it's I think Patton Oswalt helping write that or something. Was it the
Yeah,
comedian?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Because I have a few. I actually read a couple of those recent. Because I usually read weekly and have like a whole list. That's why today is hard because I haven't, like I said, I haven't been in my swing of things. But I have, the normal, like you've seen on like the Exquisite Corpse that I did the review on. I did one on Money Shot, I think recent too. The Naked Aggression, Hello Darkness was like a
Yeah,
big favorite of mine from last year.
yeah,
From 2025 because that's when it came out. But that's also like a what 5-6 stories in each issue or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
horror oriented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Did
I
you?
tend to really love those though. So
Yeah. Did you ever read any of the new EC comics they brought back? Like
oh yeah, I have been reading the what was it Catacombs of Torment. So I'm
yeah, yeah,
reading that one, and then I did pick up 1 through 4, and I don't know if it's just a 4 miniseries or not. I can't remember on that, but I did pick up of oh shoot, what was it? No, I'm losing it. I just had it. But it was something about vampires, but it's one of the EC ones that they put out, and it's 4 of them. So I'm gonna be doing a read on that actually here soon.
Blood Type. I think it's called Blood Type.
Yes, blood type. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yep, blood type. I don't know if it's a mini or not, but I have 1 through 4, so it's enough for me to get in to read it and see if it's good. But I felt like it was only 4
Yeah,
because I couldn't find anything else on it.
I
So
don't know how many issues it is, but like I like that too. That stuff. Sometimes I'll just be like, you know what? If it's a mini series, I'll just wait and get like a paperback. Like the
yeah, I am trying to do that more. Like I'm starting to lean more towards graphic, novel, just because reading wise it is easier. And then it doesn't take, I mean, it takes up space though, I guess. So I don't know if it takes up less space, but as far as comic book boxes, I have so many of them. So I'm like, let me start filling the bookcases instead. So I've
yeah,
definitely been picking up more of those, but I have my pool, so I'm still going to pick it up eventually, with all mine that I normally get. And out of those, I mean, I read probably 70% of them because some of them are just cover by. Like I get a lot of Vampirella, but I don't read a lot of Vampirella. I love
yeah.
those, but there's a cover by. Not all the stories are great. Like I liked the Vampirella Army of Darkness one. I read that one not too long ago, but I just normal Vampirella ones are either the same stories with new covers or I don't know, the stories they're not super imaginative.
I try to get like the ones like because I think Lucio Perillo is
Yep.
he does a lot of cover art. And I got one where it's got like a nun on the cover. It's a really cool cover.
Oh yeah, I just got that one too. I got the purple version. I think there's a couple versions, but mine's like has like a purple hue to it. Yeah, I just got that one recent. I did not read that one though. I have been getting that newer like because they renumbered them or whatever. I've been grabbing those, and I'm thinking to go through and read those ones because I haven't read a good Vampirella in a little while. So, and they're like I said, some of them are really good. It's just some of them are I don't know. They're just either the same, redundant, or the same story.
Mr. Mars had a question, but we kind of covered earlier, but he must have missed when did you start with comics? And
So I would say like collecting at least a decade ago.
oh, there you go, Mr. Mars. If anybody else has got any questions for Sabrina,
But I guess I will say, as far as origin story, I didn't even think about that. I did actually, and I thought of this recently because Melanie Inja from there, she was mentioning it. I used to do the same where I would read the colored comics every Sunday, but I actually also read the morning comics every weekday. So even though I couldn't buy comics, I was still reading them when I was younger, but they were the newspaper version because we got the newspaper all the time,
yeah.
growing up. And I don't know if everyone knows what a newspaper is. No, but I would read those. So I guess that was kind of where it started too. I don't know. A lot of little seeds planted. But for me, like for sure, officially collected would be at least 10 years ago or so. That's why my collection is where it's at now.
Legion says I genuinely thought inside of Umbrella Comics were just blank pages.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people open them up, and to be honest, sometimes I wish I didn't, but yeah, no, there's something inside there. And sometimes they do a lot of like Vampirella has a lot of like centerfolds and stuff too, or just like little galleries. And sometimes
Yeah,
those are really fun. Just the art is really nice.
Well, there's like some I think that like that in Red Sonja. I don't know a lot of people read them. They just
I do like Red Sonja. I actually just read the Red Sonja Army Darkness one as well.
that was good. I have that one. It was
Yeah, that one was good. I liked it.
and I kind of get into that kind of thing. And I like when they use the old like toy IPs, like they have like Master of the Universe is out now, and I'm a big G.I. Joe nerd because I grew up with the toys,
Yeah.
And but I like stuff like that or stuff that's based on like when the older stuff I collect. Like I like to get like in the '80s, there was a lot of like comic books that were adaptations of movies, like Blade Runner. And Raiders of the
Yeah,
Lost
I actually started to a little while back. I would actually try to get those like the movie cover ones, but my husband actually collects those too. So just it's hard when you have people who collect the same. You don't want to collect the same things, But
Yeah.
I did bring a few. I could show while we wait to see if anyone has any more questions. Speaking of like as far as what I like
No,
to
go
collect and stuff,
Go
I
ahead.
did bring my Pet House collection because this was one I worked on last year, which I love and I'm proud of. Actually, this is a really good read. I don't know if you ever read,
I've never read them.
but
I'm going to check them out. I know Scotty Bond collects those.
the stories are incredible. I really liked them. And then each one has a centerfold excerpt or whatever, a whole
Yeah,
section of like whatever about the model that was like modeling for them as well. So it's like real people inside of it as well, but it's still a comic
real
form.
models for it. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't reckon. I'm sure it's like newer people or whatever. It's not like old school Pet
Yeah,
House in that way, but and then they have like the little excerpts and stuff. Because like on the side, they'll tell you a few things that are in each one. It's just like a magazine.
no,
Right
yeah.
there. So this one was like one of my favorites.
Chip said he didn't know that Pit House Comics existed until he was today years old.
Wow. Yeah, you need to get on. I mean, so they didn't like it. Actually, it didn't get popular. I don't know how, but it didn't get popular. I didn't hear a lot about it. It's my vibe. I have a one of my favorite things to collect. It's not my biggest part of my collection because it's actually really hard to find these kind of stuff. Is I like the very risque, very I guess people might say raunchy or whatever. I like that kind of stuff. So I have a big collection of that. And this was like the mag collection of it, but most of my stuff is just regular. So it's in a whole different box. And I couldn't get to that box today. Otherwise, I would have definitely shared that. But I did bring my Harleys too. I brought mostly mags because that box that was really easy to find because I don't have a lot of mags. I wish, but I just don't. But the Joker and Harley ones that were coming out originally, I have those. So Joker,
The Black
Killer
Lady.
Smile.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, this one's like one of my favorite. I really love the Joker, who's like one of my favorite originally
Oh,
too. Because like my character to collect, just because I don't like to be like anyone else, is the mask. Because a lot of people just don't collect the mask. So I have a whole collection of that. But that's in a different box. I couldn't share that one here. But that's like my character or whatever. And I did grow up watching the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I felt myself when I watched The Dark Knight rooting for Heath Ledger more than I did Christian Bale.
I loved Heath Ledger in it. I was very sad he couldn't continue.
Yeah, it's a shame because the guy was very talented,
Yeah.
And
Well,
now,
and his wife, that was sad too, because she's the one from, was it Dawson's Creek or something like that?
yeah, she's in Dawson's Creek. I think
Yeah.
she's also at another movie. She met him on a set of a movie.
Birds of
I like
Prey.
that one. Harley on the.
Yeah, she's been in a few things, but not too much since he passed, though.
Yeah, she actually kind of slowed down.
Yeah, I just don't ever see her anymore. I love the colors on these ones, though, the Harley Quinn ones, the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, those are great.
Harleen and the Joker Killer Smile, those were really good reads as well. This one, I actually don't quite remember. I'd have to go back and read it, but.
I always thought the Birds of
I
Prey.
think that was a double.
Yeah, I think the Birds of Prey were always cool.
Yeah, I like them, but I don't collect a lot of them. And then So other than this one, I have like a very small stack comic book wise because I don't know. I think I just more liked it because of the whole Harley Quinn vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I really ever read them. And then like I said, I like getting like mature books and stuff. So like these ones are older that I've been collecting over the time. Over I think I have like 2 long boxes full of just like old, like real inappropriate ones. So this one, Schizo, and obviously the mom is like just chugging her little alcohol while she's pushing the stroller. Ralph Snart, he does this. I have a few of his. He's got a bunch of like the underground books from before, Crazy
Okay.
Peckers.
Yeah, my uncle used to have a lot of stuff like that. He had one.
Hardcore. I like them. I think they're funny. I don't know.
Well, he had one
Like
that was
that.
from Kitchen Sink Press, and it
Oh, I
had
have a couple kitchen sink press. I don't know if any of these ones are,
one of
but
them was called "The Giant Penis That Attacks New York."
oh, see, that's awesome. Yeah, I need that.
Crazy shit, like or like cherry
Freak
pop tart.
Brothers.
My friend, like I was talking about, a guy I know, Scotty Vaughn. He likes that cherry stuff, and
Oh, I
pin
do
out
like cherry. I haven't started because I mean they get like the good ones they're getting pricey.
very
I
expensive.
did not jump into that. I like the old school horror too, though. That's like one of my
Oh,
favorites.
yeah,
I want to
that-
start getting these. The Mad.
oh, I used to love Mad Magazine and Crack Magazine when I was a kid.
Yeah, they're cool. So I kind of want to start getting those too. This is the Boob and Carnal and Tad, Alice, and Alfred one. So it's like all about boobs.
The horror ones are always fun to me, like the magazines back in the day, like Eerie and stuff like that. I don't know. And
Yeah.
I used to
I
have
think
a lot.
I don't think I brought any my Eerie or like zombie and stuff. Yeah, zombie tales and stuff.
Yeah, like
Those
that.
ones are really cool.
I do have a lot of Bronze Age DC stuff, like
Oh,
House
that's
of
cool.
Mystery, House of Secrets, Witching Hour, Black Magic.
See, those
anytime
are amazing. I don't have many, maybe a few Witching Hour, but that's about it. I don't have like any of those.
anytime I see one, I'm not really like actively collecting them, but like if I see it,
Yeah.
and it's a decent price, I'll get it.
Yeah, because I was saying, because sometimes they're kind of pricey.
Yeah, well, they're getting more expensive because people can't. Oh, we got Evil Ernie action figure.
So I collect the books. Obviously, I can't bring my books up because all my stuff is in the garage, like not even put away or organized or anything. It's just all in boxes and boxes. But this is I started Figs last year too, and so Evil Ernie was like one of my favorite. I have a bunch of the books, and I also have a bunch of the cards. I did start collecting cards a little bit too. I mean, I collect a little bit of everything, I guess, but I do love the horror Figs probably a little bit more. And then of course I had to get my Joker
Oh, cool!
with the hyenas.
Yeah.
I don't I open a lot of mine, but I didn't open those ones just because those specifically I don't know, I feel like they're meant to stay in the box, but usually I open them like Professor
cool.
Pig.
Professor Pig, yeah.
And then there's the other DC one I have. Oh, and actually there's 2 more DC ones. This guy, which he comes with the whole thing. He was a little bit pricey, but I just love the style of it. Batgirl playing baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did collect the books and the pops for Bombshell. So
Oh,
Nosferatu, which he comes with like a whole little like thing and like rats all over it and stuff, which is so cool. And then of course, I'm a big Tim Burton fan. I guess that's also when I was younger. I grew up watching that Edward Scissorhands, all the Tim Burton stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I love that movie too. It's one of my favorite movies growing up.
And that's like all I brought over here. But
That's
I figured
cool.
I'd bring a few things to at least show because comics. But
Oh, fine. I got a few. Like I've been like getting a lot of action figures here lately. So I'm like
they're
kind of
fun.
like back. I'm like I want to get that G.I. Joe figure, or I want to get that that Wolverine.
They have
figure.
a lot of GI Joe though. That's a whole world. It's a little bit
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a guest actually coming on. We're going to talk about that next week. He's got
Okay.
a big channel. I've been getting into that. Like I don't know. I feel like I can't tie myself down to one one fandom. I have to like collect multiple things.
I can't. Yeah, that's why I'm like, and it's a good question. Even with the origin story, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if there's one story. Like I said, I think I just have always just been into this kind of. It's just always been nerdy naturally. A game too. So like for me, pretty much all the components of all my hobbies are oriented around, figs, comics, and gaming, basically. So for me, it's a lot of fun. And then I like the community, and like you see, I'm on Instagram and all that because I like building, editing videos, and I like to do things different. I don't like to do the same, pictures, which again, no knocking it. I love seeing everyone's stuff, but I don't like to just do the same thing where I'm just posting photos. So I like to, create something.
I was going to talk about that earlier. I forgot. But yeah, I was going to compliment you on your editing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have fun with it. Yeah. I enjoy it. I like to mix it up a little,
Yeah. I try to do some video that like mainly it's just pictures, I guess, but like I don't have so much going on, but like also the thing about collecting that, I don't feel like I feel like what I joke about collecting like different things is where I think us comic nerds and geeks are just natural hoarders and pack rats,
Exactly. Yeah. Because just really, there's no limitation, right? I mean, you can kind of get into anything, and anyone who says they're just into one thing all the time, or they're the know all or be all to whatever, it's crazy to me because there's just no way. There's so many different perspectives, and I think that's why I like it. I know there's the whole side of the community that is a little more snobby and probably hates that I say that, but there's no one way to see something, and there's no one fact about anything. There's so many different versions and perceptions on every single character or every story, or
Well, I feel like sometimes that attitude can be kind of a gatekeeping mentality. Be like,
yes,
oh, if you don't like these blue chip keys and that book's not worth anything, you're like, well, it means something to me.
yep. Or it's just stressful. You feel like you have to, know certain things or speak a certain way. I think that was like early on when I started coming on YouTube. So it's just like when you invited me here and stuff, I got real comfortable with certain people in the community, similar to you, where the vibe is very open and stuff. Because for me, I'm not here to give you fact, just look it up on Google. I'm going to mess up people's names. I'm going to confuse things. I do it all the time. It's just I guess the stoner in me. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I love to learn more about it too, though. So if people want to tell me about it or teach me about, Harley Quinn or whatever, do it. But at the same time, there's things that I also learned about those characters that I loved and that I'll remember, and you just remember it your way. Everyone's different. So
That's what I like is like, there's certain people I can go to, like if I have questions, like
Yep.
if I have questions about DC Comics, I can talk to the Legion of Comics. I know he knows a lot about DC, and he knows a lot about comics in general. Or Cliff, if I need to know something, Cliff might know it. Cliff on Comics, shout out to those two. And not just
Cliffy.
there's people that know everything, like different ways to collect, like grading or not grading, good read, maybe indie or just superhero. Just depends on who you go to.
Yeah, I won't know the first thing about grading, you know what I mean? But I'll listen to you, But for me, yeah, I'm not going to know that. I'm gonna know more about it raw.
He said, my name's not Judy, and I don't judge.
There you go. See, exactly, and that's what I need. That's the energy I need.
And I always joke that I know enough about comics to get myself in trouble.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like one of these people. Like, if you want to know, like, Matt, what is a book we should be speculating on buying in the next 6 months? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that stuff I don't know. But luckily, so like I said, my husband's into all that, so he knows that stuff. But for me, I could care less. I don't care if it's worth anything. I don't care if it's worth something in the future or not. If I like it, and I want it. And that's just how I am.
Like, I like these funny little things like this. This is who Sergio Aragones was or is. He did like mad stuff, but it's got like this.
Oh, that looks cool. Yes, that looks like the style I like.
It's like a silent like stories. Like he does that book. Where the comic grew. I think he's like a barbarian.
Oh.
He did that. Hey, Zars, how you doing? Well, it's got like these funny stories in it. Like, and some of them are kind of naughty. Like this one right here is like this man and this woman are driving, and then they run into the woods with their blanket. You see, and it tells you like the arrow, the finger points.
Yeah.
So you turn the page, and then you go to the next page. It's kind of like those old Playboy cartoons, and they're coming back to the car. Or there's another one.
Oh, that's cool. So there's no writing, or that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one like this. I don't know if I can find it, but I'll just tell you what it says. It's this woman's out there sunbathing on her deck, and in like a high-rise apartment in the city, and she takes her top off, and lay out in the sun, and then all of a sudden it starts raining. You think, oh, it's raining, so she runs back in the house, and you cut to the turn of the next page, and there's this old dirty man standing on top of the roof, and his wife was standing at him, and she was holding a water hose.
That's awesome.
You dirty old man. Does anybody have any questions for Sabrina before I let her go? Because we should just have a show for like an hour, but I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. An hour's good. Yeah. Like I said, I got off my work day, so I don't know about you, but that's what I was doing before I got on here.
While we're waiting on any questions, I want to tell everybody I do have some shows coming up we'll talk about here. Like, well, first of all, I guess next week I was telling you is a collector, but I like to get other collectors' perspectives. Like, you know, I just want to collect one thing, or and I have other interests, but like, so he's a G.I. Joe guy, right, and a toy guy.
Right.
His name's Destro is my spirit animal. He'll be my guest. I think it's it's next week at Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. He's a pretty cool guy. He knows a lot about Transformers and G.I. Joe and He-Man. And then tomorrow we have, tomorrow I'm reviewing Beverly Hills Cop. This will be the last,
like that one. Yeah, that's a good movie.
episode of Good Cinema, because we're kind of merging together to good and bad cinema.
Right.
So we're going to let people vote on it. I thought it was easier to do it that way. And shout out to my friends Mark, Legion Comics, and Bruce from King of Nerds. They kind of pushed me to do that. Like, you need to do it. Like, I said, yeah, that's a good idea. We also
I like that.
Also comic book reviews, and tomorrow we were reviewing G.I. Joe issue 7, and we'll find out who are the Russian G.I. Joes. Who is the October Guard? We'll find that out when you watch my video. It should be uploading tomorrow about 12 o'clock. And of course, Maximum Overdrive will be Friday. It's the last episode of that. Tony will be taking over Friday Night Frights. It was his idea anyway, so I felt like it was just only right. I do the new Comic Book Day preview show on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, you stay busy.
Yeah, and oddly enough, I had to drop. Well, I'll tell you later. I had to drop I put 2 of the shows into one, and I had a hangout show, so I quit doing that show. And I'm going to quit doing this show because I just had too many shows. I think it was like
you got a lot of them.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's good though.
Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate you coming out and watching it, man. And
good to see you, Bobby.
You got anything you want to tell everybody about? Is it coming up or anything?
Yeah, you know me, I'm pretty easy. We hang out on Saturday nights, Saturday Night Comic Live. And of course, hopefully you're going to come next time or anytime. You're always got an open invitation. And we just talk books, me and Joe. He's Zombie Joe on Insta. And then I am going to be on One Collection Down next month. And then again in March. He does cinema reviews as well. I think it's sci-fi themed. Yeah, so that'll be really fun.
I'll be on a couple of those shows.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I did see your name. I think you might be on one of the ones I'm on. So we might get to see each other. If not, though, I'll be watching for sure. Oh, and I'll catch up on yours too. But I like to get on here and watch.
I'm gonna try to stop by on Saturday. It's just one of my friends was doing another show, and I had told him I forgot. I told him I was gonna stop by there. So you know how it is. I'm kind of like where I just tell everybody, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's how I got too. And then, which normally is fine, but for me, it's the move that's got me all weird. But phones work just fine. I've been streaming from the phone, so.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and I'd like to thank everybody for watching. And as I always sign off, I always say, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell, kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.